Yeah, Army. I said if this come on like when she tell RM like you better call Bang PD. Call him.
You better call Taeyong.
Call him.
And you can't use
What Jimmy say? You can't use Jimmy phone. Don't call me. I told you not to call me. What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Young.
I'm Jarek.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here.
Kim Namjoon featuring Miss
Erykah Badu.
Indigo.
Big Queen.
This kind of been like my most anticipated track almost, just because this is a blend. I didn't know we was gonna get this flavor. I didn't know he was gonna have this chocolate queen on here. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know we was getting all this luscious energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's just hit that subscribe button, jump on Patreon. No long talk. Let's jump into this. Let's dive in. Ladies, y'all get respected tonight.
Fuck the trendsetter, I'ma turn back the time, far to when I was 9. 좋은 것과 아닌 것밖에 없던 그때 차라리 그때가 더 인간이었던 듯해. 이쪽 저쪽에서 받았던 손가락질들이 이젠 가야 할 곳이라며 저 산을 가리키지. That's where you belong, or you gon' be alone. If 뭣도 아닌 그 지심들을 고집하면은 팀 빠지는 사실 뭣도 아니야 너는. 고속도로서 오솔길로 가려 해 너는. 그냥 내 말 좀 들어 그거 다 잃어. 늘 그랬듯이 go with the flow you get better. Fuck that shit 애들한테 lifestyle. 내 나의 자리는 경계에서 내 pipeline.
Red wine!
되지 않는 꿈을 꿔 아무도 보지 않는 춤을 춰.
You keep the silence for you do something now. Yeah, yeah. You be a human till the death of you down. Yeah, yeah.
I wanna be a human before I do some art. It's a cruel world, but it's gonna be my part. Cause true beauty is a true sadness. Now you can feel my madness. I wanna be a human before I do some art.
he wasn't rapping like this before, bro.
It's gonna be my part. Cause true beauty is a true sadness. Now you can feel my madness. 그는 말했지 널 먼저 사람이 되라. 예술할 생각 말고 놀아. 느껴 희노애라. What it did with the techniques, what it did with the skills, what it did with all the words in your lyrics that you can feel. 나 단순히 말하지 네가 뭔지 몰라. 다만 그저 찾아가는 길. 우리 나의 속도와 방송일 때. But to me you the fucking contemporary. 여전히 이곳에 살아서 흘러 permanently. 이 모든 경계에 위에 선자들에게 반드시 보내야만 했던 나의 밤을 건네. 반짝이는 불꽃은 언젠가 땅으로. 카이사르의 것은 카이사르로. 시커멓게 탄 심장 새를 뿌린 그 위에 실을 쓴 내 사설을 오갔던 생과 단순히 마침내 이 땅에 남긴 것들에게 나 역시 그저 좀 더 나은 어른이게.
You keep the silence for you do something now. Yeah, yeah. You
Brought the flute in.
I wanna be a human before I do some art. It's a cruel world, but it's gonna be my part. Cause true beauty is a true sadness. Now you can feel my madness. I wanna be a human before I do some art. It's a cruel world, but it's gonna be my part. Cause true beauty is a true sadness. Now you can feel my madness.
그렇게 하고 싶은데 그러려면 이 욕심도 다 버리고
Not RM with like outro energy.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, pull a car up out front, yeah.
나는 그렇게 하고 싶은데
4 a.m. in Seoul.
근데 죽을 때까지 이렇게 해보려고 노력을 해야지. 그게 인간의 목적인 것 같아.
Nah, good John. Make sure y'all subscribe. This is it sounded like this could have been like on the Love Jones soundtrack. Exactly what I knew I was gonna get. We knew we were gonna get like that neo soul kind of vibe and energy. Something that sounds like it could get played like on a like in a nightclub, a fancy joint with like good lighting, a nice lounge, like RM just on there playing with a live band holding the mic kind of like this, like going off. She's singing. I like this a lot. I thought the production was dope. I think they whoever did the arrangements on here knew when to minimalize certain things, when to add other instruments on here. Like I said, just even them bringing in the flute at one point brought like another layer onto the track. Something about his like poetry. When we talk about it all the time, as far as like the poetry being so beautiful that it starts to, like to transcend language. To I think if someone kind of closed their eyes and just was listening, you almost would be able to gauge what type of time he was on without even having to read a single subtitle. But just even without that, I just think like he's a poet, and he's one of those spitters that's in that like Kendrick ilk. Like, you know what I mean? That once you start talking about good J. Cole, that sounds crazy. Good J. Cole. Cole fans probably looking at me like, the fuck is that supposed to mean?
That was cold.
That was cold. But just like those
Cold world.
those lyrical pen writers that can kind of jump into any genre of rap that they want to. They can jump into like these lanes. You can put a contemporary kind of track on. They can do that. They can do upbeat, hot stuff. Throw a gospel beat on. They can jump into it. If it's pure rap cypher shit, they can do it. And he's doing everything. This album already sounds different than like RM and Mono, so that's already kind of like a plus. But I'm good. I kind of wanted to. My assessments of all these are gonna be hard because I kind of want to digest the album as a fool. But I like this a lot. You want to get your clip on?
Yeah, I'll go. Man, Namjoon, man. To say he has a way with words is an understatement, and the fact that obviously it's in a different language, it says a lot. That he writes legible enough, even though it's poetic as it is, it's still legible enough for, able for positive interpretation. And yeah, man, it's just I love the neo soul groove with him because usually we expect V and everything like that with a couple songs that he's done in that style and everything like that. But actually early on they did do the song Like, and even the remix is even more neo soul and way better. But that's a good song, another good song anyway. Yeah, man, I love this. I love Erykah's contribution with the I guess this is like the chorus or maybe like the break, because he kind of goes back into bars and everything like that after this. So either or.
Would you have gave her a verse, or do you like how it was structured?
I definitely would have gave her like a bridge or a breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Like something at the end of like how the end of Bagley ends. She like.
I would have loved that. Then she mentioned I would have loved to hear her just kind of going off and him rapping. You know how like they rap ad-libbing, right? The ad-lib and her going off. I can see it.
Just finishing off like that. That would be the only thing. But I think this is beautiful. Just like this too. So I'm definitely gonna be jamming this. This is definitely the most anticipated one after what I've heard, or after it was announced. I love Wildflower a little more. I think.
I'm still there too.
Yeah, Wildflower. I think just the intensity and urgency of it, but that's like Wildflower is a 10. This is an 8 or 9. So
I know this probably gonna go crazy on the Tiny Desk stuff.
Yes,
I know when they do it live, this is probably like gonna go crazy.
Just like in headphones and chilling and everything like that, definitely go crazy.
And good Boulevard music. This is a good 2 a.m. joint.
Hashtag I can smoke to this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Smoke Crew will be back this weekend.
Finally, thank God.
I was carrying it by myself. Nah, Jared Kerr, how'd y'all feel about this?
I love the approach. I knew this is what the monster had inside of him. Yeah, thank you for that, Nick. I want him to do more English songs, because the words are very beautiful. I feel like I would like a full verse from him in English, just because he has the potential. You know, that little bridge he did there was super catchy. The bars were there. I love it. Erykah Badu on it was just like the perfect. That's like a perfect female collaboration for him, because he has a very healing type of rap style, but it can also be very laid back and chill, on some cool stuff, like you were saying. This when he's rapping, you can tell it's coming from a place of kind of like a calmness, and I like that. I can't wait to see the Tiny Desk.
Would you be in agreement with me and says he raps? Ironically, he said, Nas is his
I would not
favorite
agree
rapper.
with you, no.
Yeah. Anyway, he says Nas is his favorite rapper.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I ironically think he raps more like Hove, where Hove has that conversationalist flow, where all of his verses is like he's talking directly to you or like you're there with him. He raps like, someone's right here with him. Like all his rhymes are written kind of, excuse me,
Ironically,
not like a narrative, but like it's speaking
it was
to
written.
you. Yeah.
They say Hov don't write.
Exactly. See, there you go, and that's probably why it is like
They say
that.
Hov don't write.
Damn, it makes more sense now because I am talking to you. I'm not writing this on paper.
Ironically, I feel like he's like, it's the storytelling aspect that he like really seems to lean into. I mean, at least with the Nas aspect of it. And I would even say M, because I know those are like two of his most influential, rappers.
That's our arm on Dear Summer.
I
Said,
know
dear
you-
soul, I know you're gonna miss me, but we've been together like white rice and kimchi.
You know he did have the soul track, right?
I just killed that.
Y'all on to something. We gotta get
Cause I sounded like the first day of it, like
redemption.
if I
mixtape
offended
coming
anybody, it was
soon.
kinda-
No, it's not even that. It's
You gotta get the advance on the shirts, get that trademark.
Nah, I think you wanted something. I think it is a good blend of people because I think it is. It's things Hove do that like RM don't do, and it's things that like RM do that like Hove like won't do neither and shit. And for reasons and stuff like that. I don't think I need to go into detail and shit, but just for reasons and shit. But I get exactly what you mean. He does sometimes. His rapping feels very intimate sometimes, where it's almost just like we're here and he's like talking to you. He's talking to your soul a little bit. So I get it. I like that. Good point. How'd you feel about it, Kurt?
I like this a lot, especially as a way to kind of start off the album. For one, I was looking at what Yun meant. I didn't know if it was a word or like a person or anything like that, but I found out that it was a South Korean contemporary artist named Yun Hyung Kun was which I'm not exactly sure. Correct me on my pronunciation, of course. But it was basically an artist, and that sample in the beginning and at the end was, I assume, at least the words of that artist or someone that RM seemed to look up to. But it makes sense. I like that basically a large part of the song is kind of, how when we had, because, I mean, we checked out Wildflower, the MV first, and clearly we'll get to that point in the album later, but how we talked in that video about the beauty of, like, the pain in everything as far as, like, how they're almost one and the same, kind of the way you recognize them. I can already see the seeds of that being planted here, where he's saying essentially it feels like all kind of the beauty of art often comes from painful places. When people like put their pain on the page, or in the case of Yun, I would assume the canvas. Whatever your kind of art form seems to be. It seems that like a large part of it just really does. Some of the most beautiful art really comes from a place of pain. So it seems like he's kind of traversing that journey where it's kind of like coming to terms with what all that really means. But I like this a lot. I did want to touch on the hook. I did wish that there was a little bit of a bridge perhaps, but I did like that he was able to get such a Mount Rushmore caliber kind of icon, for lack of a better term, on the hook, and knowing that she really doesn't do any like features or anything like that. So I'm really curious as far as like how the collaboration came about. I did enjoy her voice. I just wish there was a little bit of a bridge perhaps with it, but she contributed amazingly nonetheless. But again, it really comes down to the lyrics where it's just seeming like you're going through all that pain, kind of, but acknowledging the beauty in it, and kind of seeming like you're trying to deviate from the norm of what's expected. Like there's a lyric in there where it's basically like going with the flow of the highway. It'll basically lead to your doom. You kind of got to go astray from what people are doing. And again, I can't help but think of Wildflower, where he's talking about being in that field, that open field, seemingly where there's no path, but that's like a beautiful thing in this case. But all in all, this was a perfect kind of way to start off the album. And I like I don't want to say like I like the energy that he came off with, where he literally starts off the entire album with basically cursing.
Yeah, that's what was gonna be one thing. I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
so I was saying, fuck this trendsetters. It's so un-RM like, for the most part, but it's good to see that's the way he's kicking the door. He's being raw. It's kind of being, not only true, not just true to himself because he's cursing, but just, kind of more, all right, this is how I feel. Or this is how I feel, and this is how I felt looking back on my 20s. As he said, this is just like, kind of like an archive of his 20s and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, like I said, that was a dope way to open the album, kind of set the tone from the beginning and let them know this is some deep shit, something definitely for you to listen to more than once or twice, to kind of formulate ideas about. Or maybe just also, instead of just formulating ideas, just kick back and groove and enjoy it, just kind of take the music in and enjoy it instead of analyzing and everything like that.
Yeah, no, I really like, he honestly calls that into, or brings that to the forefront rather, when he basically says, it's really about being a human first. Like it's about like, because that's essentially what all of the human condition really is about. It's about embracing kind of everything that's around you, really. And it's just like really soaking it all up, basically, where it's like you're going to get pain, you're going to get happiness, you're going to get sadness. And it's just kind of the way you weigh those things, really. And kind of, it's strange to think, but it's like even, back in primal times, I mean, these were thoughts, feelings that, everyone had, well before even civilization itself. So there's something so inherent about kind of processing those feelings. And I just think him calling into the forefront about just really trying to be human really is kind of a great statement of that. And ironically, how we had, seen Wildflower, again, one of the lyrics in here is the twinkling fireworks will eventually fall someday, basically bringing up the same thing, that like that beauty of what the firework is in the sky. It's so beautiful, and we cherish it, remember it. Now with technology, we're able to take photos of it and really capture it. But it's the essence of that beauty that just is so fleeting, kind of there for a second and then gone. And again, just how that ties into really humanity as a whole, I guess. Just the fact that, in comparison to how long the Earth has been around and everything, we're really not here long. So it's just kind of the capturing that beauty within, the essence, that knowing that kind of everything will someday pass.
Just a speck.
And the beauty of art in general, and calling into, particularly Yun, who the title of the song is, it really is about, that art that's going to last well beyond you, for people to interpret. And that's something that I think is kind of key in here too, is art in general is something that's just generally meant to be interpreted. I mean, we've said countless times about the whole idea of building a bridge and allowing the audience to kind of build that other half of the bridge, because when someone else can kind of infuse their own experiences into the metaphors that you're kind of portraying, it just makes it the connection that much stronger, really. So it really is a perfect title. I don't know the exact words of what was said in the sample, so I would need to like find a translation for them and digest that at a later point. But I really like the essence of kind of having that art being what lasts forever in the beauty, fleeting, the hauntingly beautiful kind of aspect that comes with life in general. So knowing that he's kind of essentially, it feels like this album is really that art that is, not to say it is a goodbye or anything like that, but it's again a time capsule. Particularly for his 20s, I'm sure, but even all the times he references the 15-year-old kid that fell in love with music and everything like that. So Yeah, this is really a perfect place to kind of start off an album with a lot of complex emotions to unpack.
Yeah, that's why I'm interested to see like where the rest of the album goes, because music like this is I'm not gonna say hard to interpret. I think you hit it on the head when you just was like it's really a vibe and like art. So sometimes it is hard to kind of try to wear two hats, especially when we're talking to y'all, because it's just like sometimes with certain artists you like to just hear the music and just like vibe out, don't like analyze nothing, just like go through it and just kind of like just I'm gonna let this soak in for like a little bit and then kind of go from there. His shit is just like artwork, so it's almost like trying to break down the bars and catch the vibe at the same time. So I just kind of want to see where this is gonna go, because I think Anderson is the next track. I think that's the next joint. So I really want to know what the vibe is. It going to change, or is it going to stay in the same pocket? Right. Each track just has me more anticipating on what the next track is going to be, if I'm being honest with you. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Mm-hmm. You got your clip off?
Yep.
Create anything else you want to add?
I guess the last thing I would say is just I really like the production that I'm seeing on this album. And honestly, even with Mono 2, everything just really feels different. But it's like, I don't want to say like, not to say like K-pop or any of the kind of more popular like title tracks or anything. I'm not saying that the production is like, you know, like too much or anything like that, or that it's overproduced. But there's something so intimate about these projects, both from Mono and from what we're kind of seeing of this.
Some K-pop can be I'm not gonna say overproduced, because people will think that's a slight to like the producers, but some of it can be a little bit more heavier if you're not used to those switch ups or certain instrumentations or things being on top of each other. But to me, that's just what makes K-pop decent. Like you said, I think what's standing out different from him, especially on each project, is the intimacy with the production and everything.
And that's basically what I really wanted to appreciate. And this wasn't a slight to, you know, K-pop or anything like that in general, because, you know, clearly we're up here and we love it. But
this has not been a K-pop album so far.
No, all that to say, I'm saying RM, you know,
Respectful.
growing up, you know, with music and rap and everything, even listening to, you know, idols like, you know, M and Nas over here, and, you know, I'm sure many more, of course. But all that to say, the album has to entail so much for him as a human. It feels like there's so much like introspection already that we're seeing, and we're literally just on 2 songs of the album at this point. All that to say, his ear for production and for what sounds and what instruments are going to best convey those emotions, because there's so much to unpack there. I mean, humans haven't solved the questions and things he's asking, you know, in general. So it's just kind of, his ear for production is really astounding to me as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good. You good, bro? You good?
Yep.
Yeah, man, hit that subscribe button, man. Become a real redeemer today. Jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all feel about this track. Let us know what your favorite track is on Indigo. Hype, I'm ready to jump into the next track on the album. Like, comment, subscribe, hashtag redeemer. Let us know all that good stuff. We love you. Go highlight.